Hello, Internet. I am here once again programming this crazy pirate game that CoPilot, or rather GPT-2, I really shouldn't have called it CoPilot here. I should have come up with some fake name. But anyway, I'm letting AI basically do as much as possible. That's my cat meowing again. These things are constants. The cat will meow and I will recap what in the world is being made here. So the game is in a state right now, I'm kind of in the middle of a refactor. It is in a state where it cannot be run. That's the kind of state it's in until I finish this refactoring. So I want to make sure that I at least have this interface for like things that can be controlled. And I think, yeah, let's just do that. So for example, a jumping creature is something that a player could control. And since they could control it, we need to tell it how it would be controlled. So it's going to have player controlled, and then what happens if you press jump? What happens if you ask it to move? Currently, all that logic is sitting here in this running around thing, so we can get it out of there. The keyboard manager wouldn't go there. I think we can get that out of here too. Ooh, it's already gone. Where did I put the input? Oh, is that currently in the creature controller or the jumping creature controller? Does this have a keyboard as well? Yeah, it shouldn't have a keyboard. Yeah, instead of using a keyboard, it's not even going to do that. It shouldn't have a keyboard at all. We're going to leave that up to, like, if a player is controlling it, then they're going to pass in commands. So here's where we get input. We're not going to have this function anymore. But here is all this stuff. So let's say this part. Let's say you received an instruction to jump. This is the logic that you would do. Ooh, and you need a game time for that? Okay. Good thing we're doing that. So do jump from iPlayer controllable needs a game time. And this is for movement. Yeah, let's get rid of this. So we don't have get input anymore. That makes sense. So if you're told to move, your x velocity just equals the x, but we multiply by the entity movement speed, or rather, sorry, movement.x. And I think I want to make this a capital X and capital Y. Okay, just because I like that a little more. And you're angry because is that a different name from, yeah. Okay, so let's get rid of this too. Wait, what is this? Oh, this moves the focus. So yeah, that is interesting. I don't think the jumping creature controller is responsible for keeping focus. That would be on whatever is doing, what's going on here? Fine, let's do, well, no, let's do doubles. Again, I feel like, oops, monogame likes doubles. So I don't know why I've been doing floats all the time. I mean, I do and I don't. All right, so let's call this X and Y. And one more thing, I'm a little surprised that that doesn't need, I guess this is handled elsewhere. It seems inconsistent. So when we handle movement, we've set this velocity x, but we actually only move based on how much time has passed. But then when we ask you to jump, suddenly we're thinking about the time. So that feels like a problem. Either both of these should have time, game time, or neither of them should have game time. I think that needs revisiting at some point, but I will revisit later. So let's go back to running around. That's still complaining, I assume, about focus and not having that. So what I want is a new thing that's going to represent like where it's going to be the player, right? It's not going to be the player. It's going to be the player controller, I guess, or it's representing you, the human playing, not a particular entity. I mean, maybe we just call it player because that's what that is. Question, is that a service? I guess so. I guess so. Let's start by making it a service. I think it probably is. So let's just call it player. I don't know, we'll call it player service, I guess. Create file. Oh, dang it, did I not do class? Create a class? Yeah, I don't know why I keep doing that. Player service. Okay, so I had this keyboard stuff. So this will have a reference to what is the thing you're currently controlling. So it will be an iPlayer controllable controlling. That should be private. Why don't you like that? Because it's uninitialized. That's okay. You could be controlling nothing. I think that's fair to say. So that seems correct. So here's what we would do. We would say if you're controlling something, then find that thing and it's no longer player controlled, right? So if there was something you were controlling before, when we set controlling, make sure to say it's no longer being player controlled. And then controlling equals player. And so why I have that Boolean is because these things like a jumping creature controller, probably that will be, I'll replace that with like, you know, one of the tiny people that inhabit the island, according to GPT-2. You know, I'd make that a tiny person controller, and they'll have some logic that says, if I'm not being player controlled, here's the logic I do. And I'll do that for anything that can be player controlled, is what do you do if you're not under player control? And actually, maybe that should be a contract in here, is like, you know, do AI or something, like, you know, do player jump, do player move, and then do AI or something. I don't know, something like that, to make us think about implementing those as a developer when we go back. Anyway, so sorry, I don't want to be here yet. I want to be on the player service. So, right, once we start controlling something, I think the AI knows what to do. And then here we will do an update, or an input rather. And we'll need a keyboard service. That makes a lot of sense. I think this is finally coming together, all this refactor. That's what I want. Do the keys. So I want to build up an X and I want to build up a Y. So we'll say X minus minus and X plus plus. And then I would call the thing we're controlling and say, yo, I've asked you to move. Here's your X and your Y. Maybe making that a tuple was a little silly. Y never gets set right now. That's okay. And then, yeah, here's the thing with the focus. We do want that focus thing on whatever you're controlling. So a player controllable isn't guaranteed to have a thing, but we could require that. That could be another thing that God, the word thing is so unfortunate. That could be another property of the player controllable, is we say, look, if you're going to control it, it needs to have something I can focus on. It needs to have a thing. That doesn't seem unreasonable. So let's go to jumping creature has a thing. So let's make that something that's required by player controllable. And then we can say, so this would be controlling get its thing, and that's where you want your focus. So fair enough. If this is null, then we can just GTFO. And then we want this focus thing. So public thing focus. Well, yeah, let's just do new. Well, let's not. I guess it'll have a... Oh yeah, but everything defaults to 0. Hold on, let me see what's in here. An X, a Y, a width, a height. And this is, again, right, wasn't I just saying last video, oh, I'll split them up once I have something that doesn't draw. The focus is something that won't draw. It's just a coordinate. It might be reasonable to say, though, that really all we want is an X and a Y. Like, maybe your focus really should just be a X and a Y. Because it doesn't need a width, it doesn't need a height, right? It doesn't need any of that stuff. So let's just make it be... Yeah, let's just do that. So focus X. Why are you upset? Returns a temporary value. Cannot modify struct member when access struct is not classified as a variable. What you talking about? Does it not like this being a tuple? Are you not supposed to? Oh, tuples are structs. I had no idea. Okay, let's just make double X, public double X. I'm just gonna, I should really, this should be like a coordinate or something. I think, because I'm gonna have a lot of things that have X, Y. Okay, so this will move the focus, and then this player service, this will be registered. Auto register. Really, it should be scoped later on. Like, you know, we're not going to have a player service when you haven't started the game, when you're out on the main menu or something. Unless we say that a cursor is player controllable. So maybe we do have a player service all the time. All right. What does this have to say? This is probably angry. It says you haven't implemented thing. Player controllable thing. It's on the entity. The entity has that. Yeah, that's true. Oh, well, so haha, but that's what we do. We say, fine, here's your, what does it want it to be called? Thing. It's the entity thing. It just needs to be a getter. So there we go. Now we can ask this, where is your thing so that we can focus on it when we control it. Okay, so now for running around, oh my goodness, what's the time? 12 minutes, all right. We can finally get our player controller, or rather our player service, sorry. Player service player, and then we will assign it, player equals player, and then we're gonna follow the player's focus. And active input, we're gonna do the player input. What happens when I run this thing? Oh wait, it says there's still bugs. Oh, it doesn't like this? Oh, it wants a thing. So no, you want a focus. Yeah, if we want the camera to be able to follow things that aren't the focus, it really does need to be. We need like a coordinate. I just want this to work. Gosh. Let me do this right. So where's the player service? Or rather, where's model? We're going to have a class called location or a position. Yeah. Right, this is a, okay, so go back to that, sorry, that player service. So you don't need that. I want you to focus on a location or a position, sorry. Here's your focus position. That all still works. Camera controller, you should be looking at a position. Oh, and did I get rid of the, yeah, I did. You are following a position. Certainly reads a little better. We don't have a width and a height, which is great. Yeah, we don't need to worry about this following center thing anymore. All that math can go away. You can be the double that your heart desires, and then the camera has an X and a Y, which I feel like means the camera should have a position. But again, let's not worry about that just now. We actually have no errors. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's see if this works or if it crashes. I'm really expecting it to crash. Ooh, it's crashing. It's crashing over here. Okay. Yeah, let's debug and see where it crashed. All right. I would have been surprised if it just worked off the bat. Pleasantly surprised, but surprised. Null reference. So what's null? Velocity is null for the entity. So when we have entities, velocity. Can I just make this be a new velocity? Is that okay? CoyoteTime. Is that not how you spell coyote? Typo. Did I spell that wrong the whole time? Where's my little spelling program? If it's wrong, I might as well. Coyote. Cool. People were probably angry about that videos ago too. How come I didn't complain about it? It's a coyote. It's because they're so coy. All right. I'll try to remember that. I'll probably fail to do so. I'm sorry. What? Well, something happened. Wait, did I fall? What happened? Let me run that again. Well, something happened. I mean, I like that something happened. I seem to have zipped off to the left for some reason, or my focus did. Maybe nothing, maybe the camera or the initial focus or something. You know, I mean, I did a lot of refactoring, so I'm not terribly surprised. I'm thinking it's probably set to 0, 0, and so the camera's zipping off to 0, 0 because our world starts at like 200 over or something, 200 tiles, so 200 times 50, something like that. Well, cool. The game is runnable again, which I love. Clearly there's issues to resolve, so I'll resolve those in the next video. I like that we're close to having a system where hopefully I can move and start implementing new things and moving around control, right? That was the whole goal. I want to just be able to throw in goblins and bats and ghost pirates and whatever the hell else GPT-2 says I should implement. And I think I'm close. All right. Thank you very much for watching this ridiculous series. And maybe we'll see. It seems so weird to say I'll see you in the next video. I won't actually. I can't see you. It's this weird time experience thing again. Well, you know what I mean. Bye.